I don't understand it. My tomatoes are beautiful. My squash, my zucchini, cucumbers, every year they do great. My cabbage, my collard greens, my turnip greens. I can't figure out peppers. I got the most beautiful pepper plants. People tell me, oh my goodness. Then they grow up, they're long and they're lanky, and they put 1 or 2 peppers on there and they break over. I can't understand it. Hey guys, on a serious note, welcome back to Collin Hill's Homestead. Please like, subscribe, and share our videos. Today's video is going to be about pepper plants. Hey guys, let's continue talking about these peppers, or scientifically known as capsicums. This video has been kind of odd. It's been filled with bloopers. I may not be wearing the same shirt in any of the sets that we filmed. We've had the camera blow over. We've had it start raining on us here in East Texas. I think I spilled a drink down the front of my shirt. I mean, you name it. This has been a blooper-filled video. But let's get right down to it. We're going to talk about peppers. So I tried to grow peppers for years, and I had some peppers, but I really, I don't guess, knew what a pepper could produce or could do until I saw some other people, their gardens, and got some tips from them. Did a little studying online. Done some things on my own, so I want to share that with you, and I'll ask in this video too. I'd like to get some feedback and you share some things with me. So capsicum annuums is actually the easiest for me to germinate and for everybody to germinate. They germinate normally in about a week. I have a greenhouse, so I start all my seeds early. You can do it in the house as well, you know. They sell these little flats that have the tops that'll keep the humidity in. They sell, you know, the mats that heat from the bottom. All those are great things, you know, if you have the money, if you have time. If not, put them in a window that gets that morning sun coming in. That'll give them a little heat, and you'll be fine. Now, here in East Texas, beautiful East Texas, now I normally start mine in January, but from December to February, that's when you want to start your pepper seeds, okay? They're not as fast growing as some of your other vegetables, you know, like your squashes, zucchinis, cucumbers, tomatoes. They're not as fast growing, but sometimes they outlast those others, and we'll even talk about the fact that they can even be overwintered. So some of the easiest ones to grow are the capsicum annuums. And when you talk about that group of peppers, we're really talking about, and what comes to mind, we're talking about jalapenos, which I love, and is probably 90% of the peppers that I grow. Jalapenos, serranos, Anaheims, Hatch, poblano, those I like to stuff those. Cayenne, bells, banana peppers. Those are capsicum annuums. They'll come out in about a week. Now, your super hots. I don't necessarily care for the super hots myself. Some people seem addicted to that. I don't understand it, but you know, to each their own. But the super hots seem to take longer to germinate. They're going to take 2 to 4 weeks to germinate, so don't give up on your seeds. I've looked it up. They actually say they take up to 6, but I've never had anything take more than 4 weeks. But they are going to take a little longer to germinate. If you want those hot, you know, habanero plus peppers, the Carolina Reaper. But if you want those, then you're going to have to understand it's going to take a little longer to germinate. So always plant at least 2 to 3 seeds in every container if you're doing, you know, the inside seed planting. If you're doing it outside, make sure you do it after that last frost. Peppers will not tolerate that last frost. They will not tolerate cold nights, cold soil. The soil is going to have to always be above 60. They just will not tolerate. They may live, but they're going to be stunted. All these things I've learned. I've had beautiful pepper foliage, pepper plants, just not peppers until several years ago. All right, so after your first set of true leaves come on, which is going to be, you're going to have a sprout. It's going to come out with 2 leaves. The next 2 leaves are your true leaves. Okay? After that is when you can start fertilizing. That's that early with a pepper. You're going to want to fertilize weak. Now, here on the farm, we specialize in quail. So I'm always going to use my quail compost tea. And I love it. And wow, it's awesome. You should try it too. But quail compost tea is what I'll use to dress the sides of my peppers or my tomatoes or anything else that I'm growing. Now, with peppers, I can tell you that they love magnesium. Roses, tomatoes, peppers love magnesium. Well, let me tell you what that is. Epsom salt. So, you get a tablespoon of Epsom salt, mix it in a gallon of water. If you have a sprayer, put it in a sprayer. Fertilize with your compost tea or your Miracle Grow or whatever you want to use. 1 week, the next week, you're going to fertilize with your Epsom salt combination, which is tablespoon per gallon. And I prefer a sprayer because they call it foliar fertilization. Okay, foliar. Let's just call it, we're fertilizing the stems and the leaves, okay? Because they're going to uptake that. It's going to strengthen them. They'll bring it to the roots. They're going to get that. They love magnesium. They have to have it. So, if you do your seeds, if you do from seeds inside, you're going to want to harden up your plants. Hardening up, that's the same for every seed you plant inside and bring outside. You're going to want to acclimate it to the sun. So you're going to start placing those flats to where they can get a couple hours of sun, and then a couple days later they get 3-4 hours of sun. A couple days later they're getting 6 hours of sun. Then they're going to be hardened up. They're going to be ready to plant in your garden. You're doing good. All right? Next step, pruning. I'm going to show you the pruning in the next clip of the video. But I will tell you that this made the difference for me when it came to growing a few peppers and growing a lot of quality peppers. Okay? The pruning, if you've watched my beefsteak tomato video, it's almost the opposite that you would do with peppers. When you're pruning peppers, think about how you would prune your bushes, shrubs, the flowering things that you have. You want to prune to create lower growth or to bush out or to increase blooms. Those are the reasons you would prune other things. So you're going to be pruning or topping, some people call it, because that's really what you're doing. You're topping out your pepper plants so that they can have more limbs to produce. There'll be a shorter, sturdier, almost vegetable shrub versus this tall, lanky thing that's going to break down when you get one bell pepper on it that big. Okay? So I hope this has helped. We're going to go into the next part of the video, which is the ending. Please stay till the end. Watch it. There is I'm just going to say it again now. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Y'all are special. You're loved. None of us would be here without y'all. Have a great day tomorrow. Okay, guys, I'm going to mention something that I didn't mention in the video a while ago. A lot of times you'll have recommendation on your package of seeds. I will tell you that peppers do not necessarily have to be planted as far apart as what the recommendations say. They'll say 18 to 24 inches apart. Guys, 10 inches apart, 8 inches apart is fine. You'll even see that I've decided to leave 2 in this container. And trust me, if you water these and you fertilize these 2 plants, there isn't one doing better than the other, and they're both doing great. Okay? This is one vegetable that you don't have to follow that or the square foot rule is peppers. Now, while I say that, let's talk about something else I didn't talk about. Peppers are one of the easiest plants to cross-pollinate. So if you're planting jalapeno peppers, you may want to plant them far away from your bell peppers or your sweet banana peppers. Unless you would like a jalapeno pepper that's a little milder, or unless you'd like a banana pepper with a little bite. That's how easily cross-pollination occurs in the peppers. So I just want to let you know that. If you really want to keep them separate, you can do that. If you don't worry about that and you like the taste and that's cool, that's fine, go ahead and do it. Because I'm not a super hot pepper fan. I just enjoy the flavor. If I could get the flavor of jalapenos without any of the heat, that's what I'd go for. Okay, now that being said, also know that if you're going to keep seeds for next year's planting, you don't want to keep seeds from cross-pollinated peppers. You want to stay true or start with new peppers each time. Okay, so let's go to pruning. So if you'll look at both of these jalapeno pepper plants, they're looking great, they're healthy, both of them look good. If you'll look really close, you'll see right here, we're already getting some, we're fixing flower. We're fixing a fruit. Do you see that? Guys, this is too early. Look here, we're fixing to do it on this plant too, right there in the middle. See it? This is way too early for this to be happening, for this plant to be able to support that. So, you know, a lot of people would come in here and go, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to pull that off of there. We're going to pull that bud off. And you know what? That's a good thing. You need to. Because they're not ready to produce. They need to keep growing. They do need to keep growing. The better thing to do, and I'm going to show you why, is to come in here and top these plants out. So you prune from the top, unlike with your tomatoes and you prune from the bottom. So you're going to get you at least 6 sets of true leaves. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could prune here. Since we've waited a little late on these, I'm going to prune here. I'm just going to take that right off. And I use an X-Acto knife for most of my pruning. That's a big piece. Yes, it is. And that was a piece that was fixing to bloom. Guess what? Now, what is going to happen? Let's go ahead and go over here and look. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna go right here and take this whole piece out. Okay. Well, they look a little small. They look. Guess what though? This is going to cause a lot of growth. It's going to cause bushing growth. Everywhere you see these elbows, we're going to have growth start. This is going to become more of a bush than it is a tall, lanky pepper that's going to have 3 peppers on it and break over. So now this is going to support more growth, more blooms, more peppers. Stem's going to be allowed to get more mature, sturdier. There's probably going to be no need for any stringing, staking, caging, none of that. This is how I do my peppers. It's how I have the most success. Now I'm going to show you two actually, that were done approximately 4 days ago, and what has already happened with them. Okay, did the same thing here. So I'm going to point the growth out to you. See this growth? It's brand new. Brand new. New growth. New growth. New growth here. New growth here. New growth there. And in the elbows, even on the bottom. The plant didn't suffer. The plant looks healthy. The plant is sturdy. The plant is ready to grow peppers and hold bigger peppers than it was before. Okay, we did one more just to show you. Now, I have all these peppers planted in my garden, and I do the same thing. But we like container gardening as well, because, you know, that garden's out front. If it's raining, if it's misting, if it's, you know, whatever, we like to be able to come out and sit on our back porch and look at our container garden. You know, so we still do that. Here's another one we trimmed a little bit later than this one. But you can already see in the elbows where you would call that a sucker if it was on a tomato plant, actually. And here, this is new growth. This one's in about 3 days. All new growth. And becoming a very sturdy plant. That's what we're looking for. Okay? So, do you prune jalapenos? Do you prune your peppers? Well, you prune them if you want more than 2 or 3 little, you know, golf ball size bell peppers, or if you want more than 2 or 3 little kidney bean size jalapenos, yeah, you need to prune. Even if you stake them out, you're not going to get much better growth. Prune these things. Turn your peppers into a bush. Into a bushing plant. You're going to see more blooms. You're going to see more peppers, bigger peppers. We're going to have a video later on to tell when your peppers are ready, when they're the ripest, when they taste the best. As they start turning those colors, as they get older, that is going to be the prime picking time. We'll talk about corking if you want to look that up. A lot of people think, oh, there's something wrong with my pepper. It's got this little brown line through it. No, it's expanding its growth faster than the outside can keep up with the inside, which means it's time to pick it. So, hope this video helped out.